It is officially time to talk about my favorite artist of all time, Tim fucking Vigil. Oh man, Tim Vigil. What can I say about Tim Vigil? I don't think I've done a video on Tim Vigil. I think I was planning on doing a video on Tim Vigil. Maybe I did. I really should pay attention to what the fuck I'm doing, but why would I do that? Probably the greatest fucking comic book artist of all time. And I know that is probably one of the most absurd things that people have probably heard anyone ever say. Because people always think about guys like Jack Kirby, Neil Adams, the typical John Buscema, John Romita's. I'm a JR fan, but I actually like John Romita Jr. more than John Romita Sr., and I can understand why that would absolutely piss somebody off. But Tim Vigil, man. Fuck. What can be said about Tim Vigil? Eventually, I'm going to cover Faust because I absolutely love that series. It is probably the best drawn comic book series I have ever read. Tim Vigil is a guy who I think he's a psycho because I don't think he's ever done a page that wasn't unbelievably, insanely detailed to the point of a psychotic person. I mean, if you're looking for detail and you're looking for great anatomy and great structure and great gesture and just a great figure drawer in general, great drawer in general, that's Tim Vigil. I mean, you can definitely tell he was a fan of guys like Neil Adams, John Buscema, Barry Smith, Kirby. I mean, how could you not be a fan of Kirby? If you make comics and you're not a fan of Jack Kirby, there's something wrong with you. Eventually, I'll do a video on Jack Kirby, but today's for Tim Vigil. I just picked this art book up. I had no idea it existed, and I picked it up. I had no idea he even had an art book, and it makes me very happy because now, when I'm trying to practice, I don't have to open up my Faust issues. My issues of Faust that are probably worth $5 an issue, but resale value at some point. No, I'm just kidding. I would never sell it. But yeah, man, Tim Vigil, one of those guys I wish had worked in mainstream comics. But then again, I don't think we would have seen the absolutely insane shit that he drew in comics had he worked in mainstream comics. We're talking about violence. We're talking about sex. We're talking about dicks and mouths, dicks and asses, both male and female. Murder. I mean, just like blood, pints and pints and pints of blood. Just grotesque shit. And that's Tim Vigil for you. So, I mean, if he had worked in mainstream comics, I don't think we would have seen him at his full potential. But anyways, we're going to open this up and we're going to look at it. And I'm just going to flip through it very quickly. This is a book that I don't believe. I mean, you can get it like off of eBay, but it's obviously not in print anymore. So this is 1976 through 1990. I think it was printed in like 94, 92. It was like during Faust. And also I forgot to mention, clearly probably inspired by guys like Frank Frazetta. Another guy that everybody's, if you're learning to draw, Frank Frazetta is like one of the first. It's like being a chef and somebody brings up fucking onions. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. I am surprisingly not the biggest Frank Frazetta fan, and the reason why is because I don't know. I like his work. I think his work's great. I don't fawn over him like, oh my god, he's the greatest artist of all time. He's a great artist. Probably, if somebody said he's the greatest artist of all time, I would probably go, you're not wrong, but here's, five other artists that I like way more than him and think are far better. But when it comes to comic books, Tim Vigil is the man. But anyways, yeah, so fucking great. Draws great females. Probably the best drawer of women I've ever seen. But they're going to be over sexualized and they're going to be over stylized. So, you're not going to see like Robert Crumb here where the women are, a little bit more voluptuous. These women have abs on top of abs on top of abs. So, anyways, going through this. So this is from the 70s. And I love this. You can see like a pencil version of it and then the inked version. When I was going through the Robert Crumb book, I saw a lot of, a guy learning how to kind of find his way And same thing with Tim Vigil here. And you're going to kind of see this growth through these pages. And I don't know. It just it doesn't look totally right, but it works. Again, as I said in my Robert Crumb review, or flip through, who am I to fucking critique these people? They're far better artists, possibly, than I will ever be. I hope to be a great artist, but I don't think I'll ever be this good. Sadly, unfortunately. So, I mean, this is in the 70s, 79, so this is about 3 years later. Great drawing. You're going to see a lot of dicks in this book, probably. Just expected. As many vaginas as there are in his drawings, or for every vagina in his drawing, there's probably a dick drawing. So, I mean, it's just who he is. He likes the anatomy. That reminds me of James O'Barr. I feel like James O'Barr was looking at Tim Vigil's work, or Tim Vigil, I don't know, but man, that anatomy is fucking amazing. I love Tim Vigil's anatomy. It's just, there's nobody who draws like this fucking guy, and it's. I mean, you could find people who are kind of similar, so that kind of makes what I said untrue, but it's just unbelievable. I used to think that Barry Windsor Smith was the greatest anatomy drawer of all time. And then I looked at Tim Vigil's work and I went, holy shit, I'm wrong. And that's probably an insane statement for somebody to make, because Barry Windsor Smith is fucking amazing. Unbelievable. But man, to me, he is no fucking Tim Vigil. I know. Tim Vigil would probably punch me in the fucking face. If he'd go, you think I'm better than Barry Windsor Smith? Fuck you. Anyways, great fucking artist. I love looking at his earlier stuff. I hate that this fucking book is in glossy, has glossy paper. You definitely tell he was a big fan of Bernie Wrightson. I can see the best way I can describe Tim Vigil is if you took all these amazing artists, Bernie Wrightson, Frank Frazetta, Barry Windsor Smith, Neil Adams, John Buscema. You put all these guys together, they fucked each other, and then they had this guy. And that's pretty much what Tim Vigil is. And if that doesn't make a great artist, I don't know what does. But you can definitely tell he was inspired by comics. He was not inspired by Michelangelo. He may have been, but he was looking at comics, for sure. I mean, look at that. Absolutely amazing. I'm going to feel really stupid in if like in 10 years I look back and I go, I thought Tim Vigil was your best artist. I'm fucking stupid, but I don't know. I don't know if that's going to change. I hate when they print books on glossy paper. I don't feel like they ever thought that somebody would be, oh, hey, there we go. I guess it's not stuck together anymore. Always interesting on this channel. Shit that happens. I actually like the fact that it lays way more flat. So I'm assuming this is probably early comics work. It's from '86, so maybe it's not early comics work. But yeah, I mean, look at that anatomy. Anyways, this had to have been, I don't know the exact dates of when things came out. I think Faust came out in like '88 or something. So I'm assuming it's a couple of years before, but I also could be very wrong. Absolutely love his artwork. Amazing artist. Very outlaw. Stuff is very off. The proportions are not perfect. They get way better later on. But yeah. Absolutely amazing artist. Yeah, I love the way he draws anatomy. There's just it just looks so fucking good. I mean, if you look at that arm, if you can see it, I mean, it just looks so solid. And it looks so fucking right and so perfect and such, oh my god, just an amazing artist. And when we read Faust, we're gonna see, or when we go through Faust, you're gonna see exactly what I mean by his drawing of females. I'm sure there's female drawings in here, but man, and he grew so much from the first issue of Faust to the last. I only have up to 11 because like 12 through fucking, I think it's like 16, are extremely expensive, and I'm not paying $70 a comic for that Just saying. I love Tim Vigil, but I don't love Tim Vigil that much. It's a book that'll stay at $70 forever. And I don't buy comics to resell them. That's not my intention. Um, it's not my intention at all. But, if I'm dropping some money on a comic, I'm hoping that it will have some resale value. Like, I don't know, when I fucking die. And I don't think it's ever going to go above $70. So anyways, here's Grips. Awesome fucking comic. Kind of, because Faust is like Wolverine with 2 claws, and Grips is with 1 claw. So this is before Faust, 87. Look at that fucking leg anatomy. Is that correct leg anatomy? I don't know, but it fucking looks great. And I mean, man, his stuff was not stiff. I mean, at all. I mean, there's so much life in his drawings. I mean, you get so much great structure and so much great anatomy, and it's not stiff at all. I mean, there is absolutely no stiffness in his drawings. There is so much movement. Nightmaster. That is a cool character. I love how that torso is a little too long. That's something I struggle with. Sometimes I make the torso a little too long, and then it just fucks everything up. But he figured out his way out of it. I mean, those leg muscles, they're a little absurd. Trust me, his anatomy gets better, I promise you. But I mean, that doesn't look bad by any stretch of imagination. That kind of looks off now that I look at it, but man, amazing. It's like, I think he's going a little too insane with the teardrops at this point. But don't worry, it fleshes itself out. You gotta remember, this is only up to 1990, and I think Faust was, it was 88, 89, something like that. Maybe it was 87, I'm not sure. The other thing I like about this is not a lot of dicks on it, so I can show it on YouTube. I mean, when I go through Faust, there's going to be a lot of dicks and sex and all kinds of other shit, but it's nice that I don't have to worry about this one. Speaking of dicks, we have a dick there. I mean, look at that. Great drawing. I love that anatomy. His anatomy was a little weird at this point, but it was there. It was definitely there. But, I mean, you look at those triceps. Those triceps are perfect. It looks like they only have 2 heads. Maybe there's a third one that I don't see. Again, I'm still trying to learn anatomy, so, and that elbow, for some reason, that elbow that connects between the tricep and the forearm, really fucking difficult, because it kind of like boxes out and then comes out. So, absolutely love that drawing. Amazing. Dicks and all. Absolutely love it. Alright, so we're on to Faust. What year is this? It is 90 for number 4. So I'm assuming it was probably 89, 88. Or, yeah, probably 89. Love how he draws, he just kind of shows the sketch. And you go, man, that's his sketch? That looks fucking amazing. Doesn't make me feel too good about myself as an artist, but, I mean, Tim Vigil sort of kind of on a level of his own, I think. It's really weird, because, like, when you're a fan of something, you become like a fucking fanboy and you defend it. You go, this is the greatest fucking thing in the world. And I'm sure that somebody's going to say, you're a dumb fuck. You don't know what you're talking about. You're an idiot. Tim Vigil's a good drawer, but he's not that amazing. And I'm going to tell you, you're probably right. But to me, deep down inside, you are wrong. Logically, you're probably right. To me, you are not right. I absolutely love Faust. Such a fucking cool character. Obviously a fucking Wolverine ripoff. I mean, there's no question about it. But here's the thing. Right? If we didn't have Faust, I don't think we would have had Spawn, because literally Spawn is Faust for babies. Yes. Spawn is literally Faust for fucking babies, and I think that it's not as well drawn. I got a lot of respect for Todd McFarlane, but you're going to honestly tell me that you weren't reading Faust and you didn't go, yeah, that's pretty interesting. I'm going to take that idea or have something similar to it. I mean, man, look at that drawing. My book is falling apart. Awesome. Great. Man, look at that drawing. Absolutely amazing anatomy. For some reason, all my books fall apart. Oh, I don't know why. Man, absolutely. Just fucking great. There's one drawing in a Faust comic, and I don't know what issue it is, but and eventually I'll show it off at some point. I have it. Um, Possibly the greatest drawing made by man ever. But anyways, um, as we look at my ripped book, that's fine though, because I can just literally whatever. Um, Trying to hold it together here, man. I mean, you look at how he's drawing. So Faust number 2 is probably, if Faust number 4 was 80, this is probably, or I'm sorry, was 90. This is probably 89. I mean, look at how much he grew from 76 to 89. You go, that's a long fucking time. Yeah, but man, if you got to put what 13 years into drawing, and your shit looks that good, fucking keep putting that time in. I'm telling you. And he was working professionally during that time, so absolutely amazing. I love that. I just love the way he draws women. I don't know why. I just think it's absolutely amazing. The one thing I will say about Tim Vigil, though, and my one gripe with him is, once you've seen one of Tim Vigil's women, you've seen them all. He draws women very similarly. I think the same thing with men. I think that's one of his kind of downsides. There's not a lot going on with what's what I'm trying to think of. He can draw, different shaped men and women, but I feel like he sticks a lot to the same shapes. Very muscular, but I mean that's. I remember when I started drawing, I so badly wanted to draw like skinny and lanky people, and then I looked at Tim Vigil and I went, why the fuck would I want to do that if I want to draw comics? I want to draw shit like that. That's what I want to draw. Look at that fucking anatomy. Just take a second. Look at that fucking anatomy. Look at those muscles on the side of the rib cage, or by the rib cage. Absolutely amazing. Dude is unbelievable. I remember when I saw that drawing, I was like, holy fucking shit. But anyways, that's an EO, I believe, which I believe was 90 something. I think this was right before EO, I think it was called. Man, look at that fucking anatomy. Just unbelievable. That dick looks fucking good, too. Anyways, let's move on. I love it when my books fall the fuck apart. No, fucking whatever. I mean, I could just but yeah, absolutely amazing. Who would think that these books would fucking last, huh? That's fine, as long as I got the drawings, I don't care. I kind of fucked up my flow. Anyways, that's the end of the book. Great ending there. And that's a great piece to fucking end it with. I mean, look at that. Look at that fucking drawing right there. Wow. That anatomy, dude. And what I mean, when you see a Tim Vigil woman, you see a Tim Vigil woman. You've seen them. So anyways, I mean, that kind of defines Tim Vigil right there. That right there is like, and I know what people are probably saying, like, what? It's just stupid. It's fucking dumb. Why would you find it interesting? It's not Sandman. It's a bunch of, it's like dude energy or whatever. And it's like, yeah, it's fucking cool. It's fucking Tim Vigil. I don't know. He just makes the best fucking, I don't know. I think it's his anatomy. I think it's the fact, like, when you start drawing and you try to figure out how to do gesture and form, that's difficult for your stuff to not look so stiff. And when you put the anatomy on top of it, it tends to look even more stiff. And Tim Vigil has this way of drawing these amazing anatomically correct figures, but they have so much life to them. And you go, I look at a guy like Jack Kirby, and I go, his anatomy's off, but his figures look amazing. And I think Jack Kirby's one of those guys that you should look at for storytelling purposes, and you should look at for, showing what the figure can do. And I feel like Tim Vigil is like what Jack Kirby did, but adds these extremely correct anatomically I don't know, we'll just use correct again. I know it's redundant, but anatomically correct drawings on top of these amazingly, like, expressive gestural figures. I think that's why I like Tim Vigil so much. Is Tim Vigil an artist? Maybe. But I don't know if that's actually true, because I can't see why somebody wouldn't look at something that Tim Vigil drew and go, man, that was fucking great. I just don't understand how you wouldn't look at that and think that. I'm assuming this is probably put together with fucking glue or some shit. Not the best made book by any stretch of the imagination, but definitely worth. I feel like if I continue to open this, it's gonna fall the fuck apart. But definitely an awesome book. I would say anybody should just fucking go out and look at it. But I mean, look at this. This is 78. Okay. And since it's already fallen apart, this is 90. Now, 12 years. 12 years may seem like a fucking lifetime. Sure, I'm no Tim Vigil, but if I drew something, it probably would look very similar to that. And I say to myself, if I can draw like that in 12 fucking years, it's a long time. I'll be like 40 something. But man, it's fucking worth it. So, Tim Vigil, I mean, sure, he probably put in a lot more mileage than maybe I ever will. But what a great fucking artist. My favorite artist, my favorite comic book artist of all time. And yeah, if you can get your hands on this book, I would absolutely tell you to pick this book up. Hopefully it doesn't fall apart like mine does. But now it's actually kind of cool because I can just kind of be like, oh, these are the two drawings that I want to look at in the back, and that's fucking cool. So, yep, that's Tim Vigil.